Room. This is going to be a video on cheating and stuff. This is going to be a second part of one I made earlier when I was on the go. This will explain a little bit more and show you what I was talking about. The first kind, as I tell you, is called hollow shuffling, or stacking your opponent's deck. Now, when you have hollows, I just chose random hollows out of my collection, just completely random. So I mean, it's not like these are popular cards. I mean, these are just completely random hollows. Okay? I mean, freaking, there's a lot of them too. When you look at them, usually hollows have a bend to the card when they come in the pack. So see, that one's not so bad, but usually it's pretty noticeable. And sometimes they're really bent. Like sometimes they're really, really bent. Like let me show you one of these. Like this dude, Turbo Cannon. He's like really bent. But anyways, so when they're in your deck, you know, you can see where they are. You can see that because the hollows are bent. Well, what they'll do is when they're shuffling your deck, they'll see that, and they'll shuffle it until your deck looks like this, to where all the hollows, or the majority of the hollows, are on the bottom. So, I mean, like in a normal deck, let's say, you know, these are your tour guides, you know, this is your warning, you know, I mean, so this is, you know, whatever, you're an ultra, an ultimate, you know, and that's what they'll do. And, you know, when you draw, you'll just draw all your commons and stuff, you know. You know, just draw your commons and rares. You won't get any of your hollows. That way they know you can't get your power cards. Now, the easiest way to do this is, a lot of people don't know this. When you shuffle your deck to start off, you give it to your opponent. So let's do this. I'm going to shuffle my deck. So let's say I shuffle my deck, right? I give it to my opponent. Now they shuffle it. So let's say they pick it up and they do what we said. You know, they shuffle it to that, and then let's say they do that. So that all my hollows are on the bottom, right? Like that. They do it to where all my hollows are at least like 10, 15 cards away. What I can then do is call for a final cut. Now, when you do this, you take your deck, you can shuffle it again. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Now, when you hand it back to them, they're not allowed to shuffle it. This is called a final cut. Now they're allowed to pick up the deck at one place and put it like that. That's all they're allowed to do. If they start shuffling it, call a judge, because that's illegal. The final cut, all your opponent's allowed to do is pick up the deck in one place and do that. And it makes it so much harder for them to stack your deck that way. Because at that point, you just shuffled all of your hollows thoroughly through your deck, so like they have to cut, and they're like, oh shit, where do I cut at? You know, I mean, that's the best way to do it. Like, let me reshuffle this and show you. So like that. That's what your deck looks like afterwards. So they see hollows throughout your entire deck. Their best option is to cut it like right there. And unfortunately, like the way I always do it, when I have hollows in my deck, let me grab my deck and show you so I can remember where I put my deck. Well, where the hell did I put it? I don't remember where I put my deck right now, so don't worry about that. I'll show you some other time when I find my deck and everything. The point is, like, what I do is I unbend my hollows. Now you're probably like, how do you do that? Well, first of all, do not do this trick. I'm doing this because it's a shitty hollow. It's a Hanawada. That's why I'm doing it. Trust me. Don't do this. That ruins your card. It'll crease the center of your card. It'll, you know, like make it flimsy, and it'll like it'll, you know, really like basically crease easy. Don't do that. What I do, there's a bunch of ways to do it. What I do is I've done this since, oh god, I don't know, like grade school. I used to do it with Pokemon cards, but I do it with Yu-Gi-Oh now. I take it and I'll put it between two books, like two solid books. Like I have to find my books again to show you. But then what I do is I put it between two solid books, and I put it out in the sun all day. Now what that does is These are made with heat printing. They heat it up and they stamp that hollow on there. So what I do is I put it out in the sun so it makes it warmer and it makes it more flimsier. And then the books smash it down flat. So in the end, it's like flatter than that. Like I said, if I knew where I put my deck, I would show you, but I threw my deck somewhere. Whatever. I don't know where I put my deck. I can't find it right now. Got Yu-Gi-Oh cards strung everywhere. But it basically makes it like that flat. I mean, it makes it flat. So that's the way I do it. But like I said, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. That's just one of them. Now, another way I was telling you about that people can cheat these days is looking at your deck while they're shuffling. Now, when you shuffle a deck, you're supposed to take it like this, shuffle it face down. A lot of players don't do that. A lot of players will take a deck and shuffle it sideways. Now, when I do this, go ahead and watch. You can see the cards in the deck. They can too. Like, that's what they'll do. They'll shuffle your deck sideways in order to gain knowledge of what you're playing. And that's illegal. Like, they have to shuffle it face down. So if you see someone shuffling it sideways, call a judge immediately. Because that means that they're gaining game knowledge from your deck right there and then. Also, a lot of people like to do this kind of shuffling. Which is okay. But if they're doing this, that's illegal. Because then they're still gaining game knowledge. They must shuffle it to where they cannot see your cards. That is a rule in Yu-Gi-Oh! And if they see your cards, they are cheating. Call a judge. Now, I'm not saying be an asshole in card chart. You can go ahead and give them a warning and say, hey, don't shuffle my deck like that. Shuffle it face down. You can do that. But, like, I'm not saying card charts. That's not what I'm saying. Like, understand that. That's just one of the ways they can cheat against you is to shuffle it sideways so they can see what cards you're running. So if you see them doing that, be like, hey, shuffle it face down. That way you know that they're not going to be getting an edge on you. If you think they're doing it on purpose, yeah, fuck it, call a judge. I mean, honestly, like, don't take a chance with someone trying to cheat against you. Just don't. And like about the first one, if you see them continuously putting all your hollows at the bottom, call a judge. Be like, judge. So yeah, those are the two most common ways that you'll get cheated at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Watch out for them. Like I said, the easiest way to avoid the first one is to unbend your hollows. And I guess you could take your hollows and, unbend them like that, but it just ruins your card. Just don't do it. It just ruins the card. Especially with like tour guides and like solemn warning. Don't do it. Like I said, the easiest way is like heat pressing it, which is what I do. There's also other ways. I know there are. You have to Google them and stuff, but just Google like how to make cards flat again or something. I know there's a lot of different ways. That's just the way I use. So this has been the Gadget Guru, and I will catch y'all later.